let's talk spoop. I'm your host, Don, and today we're going to talk about another highly requested video. And again, by highly requested, I mean Jeremiah badgered me into watching this movie over and over and over again until I finally gave in. That movie is Killer Sofa on Tubi, Screambox as well, but my Screambox subscription expired soon. Anyway, so Killer Sofa, that's what we're going to talk about today on Let's Talk Spoop. As per usual on Let's Talk Spoop, we break things down into 6 separate categories. Those 6 separate categories are story, acting, music, atmosphere, look, and finally creep. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into Killer Sofa. And again, my cats are still assholes. So, it opens up with a guy bleeding onto a photo and possibly chanting, and then we get an electrical saw and a person gets sawed into pieces. And then blood sprays everywhere, and then in the background there's a sofa that doesn't look anything like that poster, but it's humorous to look at, where it has like beads that look like eyes and the fold looks like a little mouth. It's adorable. In front of which he's being sawed. And then we get a group of people who enter a storage unit that has that sofa in it, and they are supposed to be picking up said sofa. It has to be delivered to Francesca. Francesca is our main character. Then we get some opening credits, a pretty woman dancing in front of a band in a red dress, that pretty woman, Francesca. Some homicide cops show up. Apparently Federico is dead. He is the dude from the opening. He was obsessed with her, which is kind of like an overarching thing in this, is that like Francesca, she's not ugly. She's actually very good looking, but she's not like the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But for some reason, men become obsessed with her. It's actually a plot point. So then we get a cut to people moving the sofa. This lady gets a really nasty cut across her hand while they're moving the sofa, blood everywhere, and then they drop the sofa off at this like antique shop that's owned by Francesca's best friend's grandpa, dad, I think grandpa. He touches it, has like a weird flashback, has maybe a stroke, and then people start dying. We're about 30-ish minutes into the movie before really anything freaky happens. There's this really weird scene where I guess the sofa must have been super comfortable, because Francesca like lays on it and essentially orgasms while she's laying on top of it. Like she's not like touching herself, nothing's touching her, she's just like orgasming on top of the sofa. It's weird. It turns out that the sofa is inhabited by a dybbuk, and we get some like Yiddish folk into it, which is cool. Oh, it also apparently steals souls. Not bad, honestly. I kind of enjoyed the story. It did some good twists with it. 3 out of 5 for story. Acting, this is a low-budget film from New Zealand, so 2.5 for acting. Music. Opening credits had a really good song. Music overall actually does fairly well for what we're working with here. So 3 out of 5 for music. Look. The couch is humorous, and there's no real spooky things. Blood effects are meh. There's like this decomposing body that shows up at one point that just looks silly. So 1.5 out of 5 for look. Creep. Oh shoot, I skipped atmosphere. Atmosphere. This is surprisingly engaging given the concept. It's a little slow, and it's kind of slow. So 2 out of 5 for atmosphere. Like I said, I was engaged, but it was a very slow moving film. Finally, creep. It's a killer sofa, man. 1 out of 5 for your creepiness factor, which gives you a grand total of 2.4 out of 5 skulls. I'm going to round this up to a 2.5 because I did enjoy this movie. I would recommend it. It's silly, but it will engage you 2.5. I didn't hate it. For Killer Sofa on Tubi.